January meeting for the Wisconsin Woodworkers Guild. You want to look at me? Oh, look at you. I'm looking at the screen. I hope you guys are doing well out there tonight, staying safe. If we ask for your name, it's just so that we're picking for the gift cards. So we want first and last names. So that's why we asking everybody. We had a lot of people that just tuned in toward the end.
I do need James iPad's last name.
James iPad, we need your last name. That's the only one we don't have yet.
Are you sure it's not Joe's iPad?
Positive.
Hey, James, unmute yourself. Hit the space bar.
Okay,
We'll
we'll do
just send this in chat.
Oh, wait, okay, I've got it. It's Murphy.
Murphy.
Okay.
James Murphy.
Thanks, Dennis. Okay, for our February speaker, we're going to have Scott Groves. He's going to do a Zoom meeting. It's going to be approximately 90 minutes long. We're going to send out a notice to everybody, try to get some feedback as to what they might want to see him do. He's got a lot of different categories, marquetry, router techniques, all kinds of things. We've got some feedback from the board members. A lot of them want to see his router templates that he does. So when you get that, send it back to, or probably send them to me if you can, because I'm kind of taking over for Jay Pilling until we get someone to fill that position. So let me know once you get it, what you're interested in seeing. We're going to tell them what we want, and depending on how much time we have for each one of them, we'll just have to, we may not get them all in the 90 minutes, but we're going to get as much as we can. That, it'll be the February meeting, and it's going to cost the Guild $300 to do that. So, and I hear he's very good. I read some of the responses from different Guild members or different groups. He's well worth the fee that he charges. In our treasury, as of the 29th of December, we have $4,629.30. We also, as of January, the Guild is insured by West Bend Mutual. So we picked that up. Liability and everything is with them. We also, Mike Robertson, Tom Masnica, and myself are working on designing a new front page that will show up on the website. I've been told the other one is a little bit dated, so we're going to try to bring it into 2021, get it to look a little bit better. Before we do anything with that, we're probably going to show everybody, send it out, get your opinions on that. So that hopefully will be coming in the next month or so. We're going to be working on sponsorships now, seeing the first of the year. We're going to see if we can't get some grants, get some money here so we can apply it to the workshop down here, which because of COVID is kind of at a standstill, but we're hoping to get that thing up and going also. We had discussed the possibility of a CNC division, or Jack came up with this, a special interest group, which I kind of like that. It's an SIG. We're going to see once we're debating if we can get enough sponsorships that we could maybe purchase a small shark and get some software going on that and get a group that might want to come down here and meet other than the board meeting, maybe on like on a Saturday, something like that, come down for a couple hours, guys get together, discuss how to operate them, how to set them up, you know, at least, but we want to know your interest. So send me an email and let me know what your thoughts are of it. We won't do anything, you know, until we hear from everybody. We're going to keep you posted, let you know what's going on. I'm hoping that we can pull in some sponsorships to help cover the cost. The shark is about $1,100, something like that, upstairs. I don't know if they, give us anything off of that because of, being the guild or being a big piece of equipment. I don't even know if Chris has that kind of fluff in there that he can do anything. We'll find out when the time comes. We're still also, I asked Dave McBride if he and I can get together. We've got all of those pen kits that were donated. So going to take a look at those. Some of the kits we think we're going to sell, try to generate some money that way. Or I shouldn't say sell. Ron Peterson offered to sell them on either eBay or Facebook or whatever it might be. He's going to collect the money and he's going to donate the money to the guild so that we can build up our funds that way. And then we'll see down the road what happens. We'd like to turn some pens and offer a pen for $25 as a donation. You donate $25, you get a pen that is turned from the guild. And we were discussing the possibility of getting one of those laser printers, or laser engraver rather, that we demoed here a couple months back, so that we could, maybe put somebody's name or a small phrase or something on them as they do that. As they send in their donation and they get the pen. But that's going to be something else we're going to have to look into also. I don't know if you can engrave acrylics or not. I don't know if that'll come in, but we'll find out. And the same with the Beads of Courage boxes. We're looking at the possibility that if we can get members to make some boxes, and for a $50 donation to the guild, we would engrave or laser engrave crafted by the Wisconsin Woodworkers Guild on the bottom, and then possibly put the donator's name maybe on the side or on the back side or something, or maybe under the lid or something like that. So as they donate, give that to the Children's Hospital, and it's not Children's Hospital anymore, Children's Wisconsin or something like that, I think it is now, whatever it is, but donate that. So it's just some different things that we want to try to do to generate some more funds, some more income, so that we can get more tools and get our shop open. We also gave Chris and Dina a $50 Visa gift card for Christmas to show them our appreciation for letting us hold our meetings down here. Normally we invite them to the party, but since there wasn't one, we just gave them a gift card. Now they can go and enjoy dinner wherever they want to enjoy it, or whatever they want to do with it. So that's what I have for right now. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. Great. Waldo has the finances, the profit and loss statement for 2020, and he's got a budget that we've been working on for 2021. Greg, you putting that up on the screen, or how?
Well, I'm going to start with the profit and loss for 2020 first.
Okay, you want to start with that?
They should,
Yeah.
if they have questions as we go along, they should ask them.
Well, I will pause too to give them a chance to ask
Okay.
questions.
Yeah, if you have any questions, hit the space bar, send them over to us, or type them in so that we can get them. All right, Greg, you're on.
Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you is a profit and loss statement from 2020. You can see part of it on the screen now. I'm going to pause for a moment so you can look at that. And pause about another minute. So far, any questions on what you see?
You might want to zoom in closer so they can read the text easier. Because it looks like it's awfully small.
Look, we've got it on their screen, it's probably through his computer.
Okay.
Yeah,
We got a full size on it.
Okay,
Yeah, Greg, it's pretty small on the screen here.
Well, I don't think we can do any more from this end. It's gotta be, I don't know how we could, make it bigger.
can you zoom your screen in more?
How would you do that?
I can't zoom my screen in anymore. It's not my
Okay.
full screen.
Well, then just quickly run through them.
Okay. No, it's not gonna do it. Okay, let me read the figures to you right away. Okay, from what you can see on the screen, so far you got income so far for 2020
I'll switch cameras.
is the Christmas party, $26. I think that's the leftover from somebody that didn't finish paying for their dinner for the Christmas party previously. We don't have too much in corporate contributions.
not
because-
working.
Not you, less.
too much in corporate contributions because we simply haven't been active enough this year because of COVID.
Not gonna work.
Okay.
So that figure is $660. Our donations, we had a donation of $90 for toys, which was added to the toy budget. For a total donation of $90 there. Membership dues was $2,250. Miscellaneous revenue, let me break that open for you. Okay, miscellaneous revenue. Now you gotta remember, the data I have sometimes is not complete with where it came from because the records were not kept good enough before I took over. So we have deposits of $252, deposit of $687, which I have no idea what the deposits are for. We had cash redemption from using cards of $13. And then there's a deposit federal application for $275. Now, that happened because we got our application returned, so we got that income back, but then later on, you'll see that amount plus additional amount is actually expense for when we finally got the application applied. Okay, raffle, silent auction, we had $80. Tickets for raffle came out to $284 for a total income of $364 from raffles. We had refreshments for what little refreshments we had of $12.50. This next category was special projects. Now, the clamps was a situation where a bunch of people wanted clamps. We went ahead and got the clamps in business, and then we got some clamps back. You know, we got the money for the clamps from members, and then we ended up keeping some clamps. So there might be a little discrepancy there because of the record keeping, but you'll see on income we have clamps, which is money we got from members for the clamps they purchased of $1,070.05. The Turner's portion for the internet, they paid up for what they still owed for the last year in 2020, plus they gave us their portion for the first 6 months of 2021. So that turned out to be an income of $591.78. So our total income for 2020 came out to $6,292.43. Now let's go into expenses. Okay. Remember when I was telling you about the federal registration? Well, we show an expense of $560, but really that only came out to $275 because we got reimbursed $275 for the application that was returned to us. Then we had the internet of $801, raffle items of $295.40. Raffle license was $50. And refreshment expenses turned out to be $47.29. That is, a mixed bag a little bit. And then we had our annual Wisconsin business tax, which was $10. And the expenses you see for Christmas party, raffle for $34.99, that's actually gonna be applied to when we have a Christmas party again, because that's one raffle item that's already been purchased for that purpose. Then we had the library expense of $150, and the only reason it was $150 is because it was not for the full year, which when you get back in the full year, it's gonna be more when you get back in the full year of means. And that total expense for librarian was $150. That was the total for contract services. Door prizes, we spent $525. And we refunded dues of $65 for people. I think there were 2 people that overpaid.
Underpaid or overpaid.
Yeah, that's it, overpaid. Then again, back to the clamps. We had an expense of $1,632.75. Now you gotta remember, part of that was refunded from people that had asked us to purchase the clamps at a reduced price, and some clamps we kept from the shop. So you gotta remember, there's a lot of offsetting expenses between income and expense. Equipment, here and there came out to $841.54. And tools came out to $200. Video equipment and accessories. We're not gonna always have this amount of money spent, but this year has been a lot updating the equipment. So this year is a little bit heavier than it's gonna be in the future, I think. That came to $902.75. So that total the total for all those were $3,577.04. And then we finally picked up the insurance. The $94 was for the first month of insurance. And if we pay for the insurance by monthly, it's gonna come out to about $599. I do not know if they're gonna give us back, because every time you pay them, they have a service fee. They have their billing, and then they have a service or a billing fee for handling the payment. And that was $7. So after we talked to them about maybe not paying them by month and finish paying for the year, we don't know how much of that billing fee is gonna be knocked down. But if you pay by month, they got the premium, and then they got a $7 billing fee if you pay by month. We're gonna try to get that knocked down. Then we have postage, mailing for $22, and supplies here and there for $53.05. Total operation is $75.05. I'm gonna pause this moment and see if anybody has any questions up to this point.
Yeah, Greg, this is Jack. I'll
Okay.
get a hold of the agent and see about, we should have paid the whole year.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
the mess was because of the mail losing it. So I'll get a hold of the agent and have them invoice us for the remaining year in one sum.
Okay.
It should be somewhere around $430 or $450 for the remaining year.
And if you could, since for practical purposes, the mailing address for a lot of things for the Gill actually corresponds to the mailing address of either the treasurer or the secretary. In this case, when you talk to them, could you have them send the bill directly to me?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that was the original problem. The bill was sent to the address of Woodcraft, and I think it got screwed up on the way. But I'll have them address it to you, your address.
Okay. Any more questions up to this point from anyone?
Let's see, I've got a question. It would seem like the insurance could be less since we're not meeting rather than normal yearly insurance. They did the same thing with my cars. Since I'm driving not as much, they gave me a refund.
This is Jack again. I think the insurance is based not necessarily on us meeting, but on the facility, the equipment, and the general liability of the organization. I'll ask them, they may give a few dollars back, but it's worth the question. Thank you.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna say one thing about that too. I think this is just liability insurance. I don't not think it covers equipment.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
it does cover equipment.
Covers $24,000 worth of equipment.
Okay, then we will, as a Gil have to get Aaron Gale list our equipment too, and then give it some kind of value so that we have that in for insurance company. Okay, any more questions up to this point? All right, I'm gonna proceed to go on. Okay, other costs came out to $98.35. Let me open that up for you. And again, there was a gift card which for $55, and that will have been
That was for Dina and.
right.
Chris.
That was a gift card to thank you card. And then the other two other expenses, the reason they're under other is because there was never anybody that gave me any clue as to what they were for. So they were just listed as other costs. That's why they're there. There was no particular information to tell me what they were for. And that makes up the other costs. Okay, then we had speaker fees. For the year, it came out to 500. And that's probably a little low because a lot of times we had members and speakers, and that saved us quite a bit of money. And for toys, I had receipts totaling $134.35. Now, some people say, well, maybe there were more, but as far as people turning receipts or something, I can only go by what people have turned into me, and that's all the receipts that I've ever got for toys for the year.
Guys, I want to make it clear on the toys, and we discussed this last year. We have a budget set aside for the toys. If you want to purchase something, you have to go through Rich Manchester. Rich will bring it to the board. The board will approve it so you can buy it. If you are not going through the board, if you do not have approval, the only thing that we can tell you then is thank you very much for the donation. If we have the budget set aside, we want to know what's being spent. 2 years ago, we went over. Last year, we went under. And it's not a case of, well, it all averages out. That's not the way that we're working it. We've had some heavy discussions down here at the board meetings, some of it loud. So we're going to let everybody know you have a budget. You want to buy something, you run it through Rich Manchester. He brings it to the board. We approve it, and then we purchase it. Don't come up and start handing receipts to Rich. If it's not approved, you're not going to get paid.
And there should not be anything that is that urgent that you cannot wait for us to actually pay for it.
The other thing I might add is if you get wood from somebody that's a member, find out if they're building the club or wanting to build a club for the lumber. We've had some members that give you the lumber to build the toys and then come back and give us the bill for the lumber that they gave you that you thought you got for nothing. And that doesn't work that way. So if you're getting wood from somebody, make sure that it's already bought and paid for, and it's
Or
not
they're
being
just
built.
giving it, or they're just giving it to you.
Right.
Any questions?
Ron, this is Rich. If I could jump in briefly about the toys.
Sure.
Over the past number of years, it looks like there has been just some inventory, I guess, is basically how I could use it or say it. So, I mean, there's wheels downstairs, there's axles downstairs, there's dowel rods downstairs, there is a crap ton of hickory downstairs. Let's see if we can use that stuff in your toy designs and in the things that you're doing. We certainly don't have a problem buying the things that you guys need for toys, but I mean, we've got a whole bunch of stuff down there, and I did take some time, and it's pretty well organized, or it was the last time I was down there about a week or so ago. But go through there and see if there's something you can use in what you're making. again, at the end of the year, I just want to say thanks to all you guys who made toys. You guys did a great job. And like always, it's a wonderful gift of your time and your passion. So thank you, but try and use what we have and we'll go forward from there.
Yeah, but also they should let you know, Rich, if they're taking it, not that somebody grabs it all and somebody else wants some also. We need to know it's being taken out.
Oh, absolutely. I will, I'll have a list of things that are down there. I've got an inventory made up of who can take, of what's there. And I'll just monitor that on a periodic basis.
Now, also, with us not collecting dues this year, there will not be the extra $1,000 for toys this year. It'll be the balance of what was used next year. But we also said that anybody that does want to pay their dues, $10 out of that 45 will go to the toy group. So you will have some, but you will not have the 1,000. You're going to have the balance of what was left over from last year, plus the $10 per renewal from this year. So Rich will try to keep you updated as to what that total will be as they come in. I mean, we've got some renewals tonight too that are going to be deposited in there. So,
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Now finishing off with the toys, going back last year, you had $1,000 budget. According to the receipts I got, you didn't spend that much last year on toys. I don't know where any more receipts are, but from the receipts I got, you did not spend that much on toys. So, right, to prove. So we will give you the benefit of the doubt unless you come in with those receipts, and then we can knock it down. No, right. So you might see, well, you'll see the budget when I get back to the budget.
Okay.
So finishing off, in 2020, we had total income of $6,292.42. We had total expense of $7,017.92, which means we spent more than what we took in.
But that's not really true, because.
Yeah, this is true.
No, it's not true, because the money that we took in for the rest of the dues was prior to 2020. I said around before, we need to start amortizing those dues into the year in which they're given.
Well, I'm right, but that's,
yeah, that's the
this,
money transactions that happened in that year. But there were a couple $1,000.
Okay,
more for dues.
okay, on that. There are two ways of accounting. There's the accrual and the cash. We're basing this on the cash accounting, which things when they happen, that's when they're counted,
Right.
not
But I
on
want
a
them.
accrual basis.
I want them to understand that we actually spent. We were fiscally responsible because what we had was a couple $1,000 more in income than what's shown here.
But
Because of the dues.
go back to that.
For an accounting purpose, you're right. But from a fiscal responsibility, we had the money.
We had the money because we're not 0 on the bank account. But if you go back to 2019, we also were at a net. So if you take the money that was given in 2019, we're still at a net then. So we, in essence.
Well, because we're doing a cash system.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if you collect the money in 2019 and 2019.
I just want them to understand it. You don't need to explain it to them. I just want them to.
Well, you're not understanding. I'm saying if you collect the money.
I fully understand.
Yeah, no. Let me
Guys, there was
finish.
$2,000 more in money that we collected in 2019 for dues. That's all we need to say.
Okay, let's go on with the loss. According to this, we have a loss.
Right, net loss of $725. And, okay, we have a net loss in 2019 and a net loss in 2020. So no matter when those Tuesdays talking about that were positive 2019 to cover 2020, we still end up with a net loss in both those years.
If we keep losing money, we're gonna be out of business.
Exactly. So we still had a net loss, even though you positive 19 for 20, we still had a net loss of 19, you had a net loss of 20.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter when that.
What's your name, Trump?
No, so it doesn't matter if you deposit in 2019 or 2020,
Let's move on.
it still is a net loss both years.
Show me your green sheet budget.
That's why we're coming up to the next. Okay, there's a proposed budget. First, I'm gonna let you look at the income part. Now, you gotta remember, this is, proposed. So, especially the income part varies so much because we don't know what our income status is gonna be for 21-20. So there's so many variants. So there's so many variants in there that this is highly suggested. Let me give you what we did come up with. We came up with supposing we have a Christmas party at the end of 21. We came up with income of 800 from the Christmas party. We came up with roughly 500 for raffles. The Turners already paid. The Turners have already paid for the first 6 months of 21 for their net. So the remainder of their portion for 21 is going to be 192.60 based of the pay. If it stays current, is what we owe. This is where we can have hopefully a bigger impact than we have shown here of only $1,000 for public support. Again, this member donation, this is only a small amount of our club donating, even though we're not requesting dues, it's appreciated we get donations for those. And this is only a small portion we figure we might do that. Hopefully we're wrong and we get more that do it. But that budget came out to about 175. Toy donations was the difference between the $10 we said we're gonna put in for toys. So that came out to, we figured it was gonna be about 250. And the general raffle was 1,000. So like again, this is high expectatory, but we did come up approximately at $4,617.60 for income. Expenses. I would say these expenses are pretty close to what's going to actually happen. The only one that might not be in there is Christmas party, and what we end up with 2020. So just looking at that, you're roughly looking at about 450 or something like that. That we won't have expense, but we also wouldn't have the income of 800 up on top. So let me go through this. Expense, gift cards, $500. Guest speakers, 1,000. And that's pretty reasonable considering that we're looking at 300 for the guest speaker in February, so that's really reasonable. We left a budget of 500 for miscellaneous for shops, so we can get that shop going and we can start using it for the members and get some member projects going. General raffle, 1,000. License, $50. Christmas raffle, about $300. That's mostly the printing or things. Well, no, we got $6 for printing, and this is probably raffle items and stuff like that. 300 there. We got entertainment for Christmas party at 150. Here's the insurance liability. If we paid for bi-monthly, it would come out to $599 for the remainder. Now, if we get a large sum pinch payment, about $45 with 10 payments was about the $7 for billing fee. Hopefully, that would be greatly reduced if we could get one last payment total. Their net for 12 months is still $170.40. Now, we share with the Turners, but we've already got their portion for half the year, and then we only got about 192nd for the remainder of the year. So you always got to remember, this is for the full year. You got to remember some of the stuff is offset from income coming in from shared expense. Then we have $10 for the business registration fee, which is Wisconsin. That's every year. Okay, right now, we argued a little bit about this, but from the receipts I've got, this is what we got for the remainder of 2021, $995.55. Video Zoom license, $76.17. Video equipment, we took a big hit this year. We won't take as big a hit next year. And that's why we only have $100 now going forward in the budget. Unexpected expenses, which you always have, we figure $300 for that. The library salary, this is only a half a year, so we're going $250 there. And then the website, which we're updating, it was $24.99. That total expected budget expense came out to $6,686.11. Now, this is not normal times, and so hopefully this income can be increased. That again, a budget of $4,629.30 as of 12/29. Looking at the income and looking at expenses, taking the end and subtracting from the beginning budget, we have an ending budget of $2,560.79. This is where, in years past, there has not been a budget done. Years past, I don't know how they were able to stick to anything, but we're going to try to stick to a budget. We're going to try to increase our income somehow, so that we know from day going forward that where we stand better, and hopefully we can make some changes that need to be done because we have a better understanding of how our budget is. Given that, that's what I came out with, working with the numbers given. I'll leave this open for questions now.
Yeah, I understand that you're using a cash basis, but it sounds like you've only included half your expenses or half your costs for a couple of the expenses.
Now we thoroughly estimated those. Like for what example, what expense do you think you're going to cover hardware expense?
Well, I think like the librarian, why is there only half a year for that? And it sounded like there was something going on with the insurance also, that there was only a half a year.
That's what I have.
The librarian, we don't figure that we'll get back in and have full classes until, we're probably thinking June or July. So there won't be any expense the first half of the year.
And this $599 is accurate. The only way that's going to be less is if they lower the billing fee if we pay the remainder all at once instead of paying by monthly. So there's this is the most. It was hard to say how much lower they're going to lower it, but there's no additional cost in insurance.
Hey, Jack, are you still on there?
Me? Yeah.
Do you remember what the premium was for West Bend for the year? I thought it was 400 or something.
Let me finish.
No, it was for the year. It's $522 paid one time.
Okay.
So
Now,
you're right, Greg. If you have $599 in there based on monthly payments, when we get it converted to the full year payment at once, it will be down from that. So
Yeah,
that's a correct exposure.
Also, there's one more thing that you forgot to add. There are another reason why it's $599 is because I include the first month of 2022 payment that will be paid in December.
Right.
So there's a month of 2022 that will pay in December. That's also $599.
Thanks, Jack.
Sure, and for everybody's benefit, excuse me, as far as I see, the Guild has paid on an annual basis forever. The only reason this happened this time was because the mail lost the premium, the notification. So going forward, it should be $522 for a whole year around there. So we should be good.
Okay.
However, we did save a few pennies in the interim because we shopped and got a better price on the insurance.
That's
So we were
correct.
down for 2 months without insurance, so.
Yeah. Any other questions? Dennis, did you get the answer you're looking for? gonna take that as a yes. Okay. Does anybody have any questions at all on this?
Anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, anything you want to bring up?
I can try to spot your answer right now.
I mean,
If I'm a new guy and raise a question, I'd like to. Why is it we can't man the library on our own? Why are we paying money for people to do that for us?
they've tried that in the past and they found out it never worked.
There's no accountability. There's no accountability when you do that because everybody takes it in and out.
I've been a member probably pretty much longer than anybody. And we went years without a librarian. And once you do that, you lose complete control. You have to have somebody in charge of the books, letting them out and taking them back in. We finally decided probably in the early 90s that we had to pay somebody to do that because we can't get volunteers to fill the board positions now. And that doesn't involve much work. So when we were asking them, to do, physical labor during the meetings, nobody wanted to get involved. So we found a lady that came in and did it, and we've just continued that ever since. I think we've had 3 or 4 ladies that have done it that we pay them to do that. And as a board, we have discussed that at great length. It's not going to change. That's the way it is. We talked about even eliminating the library, and we took it to the general membership. They decided that they wanted that, and they wanted to pay for a librarian so that they can have the books and have them assembled in some sort of order.
And kept them accountable.
So I hope that answers your question, but.
Well, I get that it's a great resource. It's just that, like, I would be willing to step up to the plate. But, like, how much extra work is that going to be for me every week?
If you want to do that, then you can start coming down now. We need to get the books in order and in catalogs and stuff. It's probably, I would say it's probably 80 hours, if not more, work to do that. And that's something that, the librarian includes in that. So if you're interested, we're more than willing to sit down and talk to you and explain to you in detail what it entails.
80 hours a week or 80 hours a month?
Well, right now it'd be about 80 hours to get everything in order because we've got new racks and stuff and they all have to be assembled properly in there. So, but again, if you're willing to do that, we're more than happy to entertain that and save that expense.
Well, yeah, my opinion is cut costs wherever you can. We're already bleeding.
Well, we agree, and that's what we look to do. We also look to increase income because we don't want to cut.
I'll come in there in the next couple of days, and hopefully somebody is around.
Why don't you come in at our next board meeting?
Warn you?
At our next board meeting, and then we can talk to you and show you what needs to be done and see if you're still interested.
All right. Well, hopefully it's a community effort and the other people want to get involved. It shouldn't be too hard of a process. Like they're all Dewey Decimal System labeled and they're in, out, in, out, in, out, just keep track of it.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question because I'm looking at, 10 different monitors here. Who am I talking to?
David Zelinsky, DZJ.
Okay, what's your last name?
Zelinsky.
Okay, I will send you an invite for the next board meeting and you can come in then, Dave, and we can talk about it, okay?
Yeah.
Really appreciate
Bear in mind that I have a part-time job and I am off the record every other Saturday. So
that's not a problem.
No, that wouldn't be a problem.
Available every meeting. But again, I'm having meetings right now, so. But yeah, I'll send you an invite for the board meeting and we can talk about it. That would be great. We look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about this. Like, I just joined, the first meeting I went to was in like March or April, and they were talking about building those watches.
Yeah,
Like, I want one of those, sign me up. And then COVID hit. So like, I meet you guys. I want to be a participant. I want to make one of those watches. It looked glorious.
dude, if you wanna make one of those watches, if you wanna come over to my shop, I'm the guy that's gonna do the seminar. You can come over and we'll get somebody to film it so that we've got it on tape, and we'll do a
Got it.
seminar.
So be it. Let's make it happen.
Okay, you got it.
Let's build this.
Okay.
I'll get a hold of you.
Excellent. Thank you. Muting.
I want to say something about that library thing. I think that's great if you want to do it, and that would be a big help. But as far as having everybody under the sun come in and do it, then you start getting, oh, I misplaced this label here, or I misplaced that label there. Okay. So that's all I have to say about that.
Well, voice your concerns, please and thank you, because I'm super new.
No, we'll talk, we'll get you at the board meeting and then we'll beat you up.
All right, sounds good.
So what does everybody else think about this?
Hey, Greg, this is Jack. It looks pretty darn good, and thanks for all the effort that went into this. Being on the board, I know that the time you spent with it and the mess you took over. So excellent job also to the two Rons that were hand in hand with you getting this done.
Right. And I want to show you everybody one more thing. One more thing I want to show everybody.
You can't show that.
No.
The girl running on the.
Okay, you see all these checks here? How they all the way up here? That's because I went and reconciled all the bank statements from the beginning to get to its current up to here. That's where all the checks were not done and where all the balancing was not done beforehand.
Well, hopefully this year will be right on. Let's check 1476. To Chris Ryder for $0.
That is because I made a mistake writing the first check, so I
Gotcha.
voided out that.
That's a void.
Yeah. That's why there's a 0 there. And that's why it's already checked off as part the bank statements go.
So what he's saying is that we tried to do an audit as best as we could because the books were at a mess and it all balanced out.
But I found some mistakes, early mistakes, that you couldn't have reconciled the thing because their numbers that were off, even comparing them to the bank.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, should we do the door prizes?
Oh,
Do they include food?
For you, they do, Jack, but we'll do it after the board meeting. So that
Yeah, keep in mind, if we call your name, it's just like at the meeting, you have to respond. So either click your space bar or send a message. Let us know.
I will mail them.
Okay, Ron Peterson will mail you the gift card.
You don't blind man?
Pick me.
Who's me?
Robert Murmy?
Robert
Werner?
Merman?
Murmur.
Murmur?
Yes. I'm here.
Okay.
Dick Garvey. Oh, Dick, be there.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, I noticed you said a while
I
back.
didn't hear Dick say anything.
Thank you.
Dick, it's been a while for you, hasn't it?
It has.
All right, good. I'm glad you won one. Any other questions? Anybody have any comments? Complaints? You want to take over the presidency?
Treasurer.
God, I tried to sneak.
I think the gift cards were stolen from me. I want to recount.
Okay, you come on down, you can count them.
But they were. Open positions.
Oh, open positions. We have got sponsorship and Jay Pilling's position for program director. And were there any other ones other than that? I don't know.
I think those are the only two.
Okay.
But those are two important ones.
Well, the entire board is trying to fill in for Jay Pilling's position. So if anybody is interested in taking over programming, it would be appreciated. Other than that, the sponsorship chairman, that's also something basically for those of you that are new like David. You try to get money for the guild is what it amounts to. I mean, we've stopped in at, well, Woodcraft, Rockler.
Everybody that has an ad in the ad.
Yeah, everybody that has an ad in there right now. A lot of those we try to, get them to renew. We'll see what's happening. That, I think that's like about 2,000 a year just in sponsorships alone, wasn't it?
Last year it was 2,400.
2,400? Okay, I think we are gonna lose some this year because of COVID. I know we had a masseuse, and I don't think she probably got anybody from here.
That's not a good thing to say.
No. We may lose our
Hey, got you,
masseuse.
I don't know if you can get me.
No. But those two positions I know are open.
Yeah, and the sponsorship, you can really, not a lot of work involved to it,
No, not really. It's
But-
not that bad.
but that, you can generate some huge income.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to generate some because I would really like to see that CNC machine, or it's the, what do they call them?
CNC, sure.
Yeah,
Laser.
The laser.
yes. No, not the engraver.
Router.
Well, you
CNC
get the
router.
Yeah,
laser.
the CNC machine. You can get an engraver on there, but the cost is double from the one that we were looking at. So, in any event, I wanna see if I can't get some added individual sponsorship so that we can get a CNC machine and we can get another special interest group going down here so that, we can just increase what we're trying to teach our members or help our members along.
Jack Zabiji, and maybe a grant from them might work on.
Well, yeah, Jack and I have talked about that. He's gonna look into that one group that he's been after.
Yeah, Bader Philanthropics.
Yeah. I'm gonna contact Milwaukee Electric Tool and Harley Davidson, although I know Harley Davidson, I don't think is doing it that well, but we'll see. I'm certain how money that they do hand out yet, plus a number of other ones. And I'm gonna contact everybody that has helped us in the past, Craig Chapin, Woodpecker, Tight Bond, all of those. I'm gonna get and see if we can't get something either put in our shop, or if we have doubles of it, we'll put it on a silent auction table. And we got a lot of items for that silent auction table. Rich has been going through them. Doesn't pay to put it out now because nobody's here to see them. But we will have a lot of those going when we do get back and get going. Grizzly, we got 2 grizzly shapers. My opinion is we don't need 2 grizzly shapers. So we might look into the possibility of getting a donation for one of those. But that's just something that we're working on. Or a trade. Yeah, I'm not against the trade. But boy, that would be nice. Yeah, trade. The CNC machine for a 3 horsepower grizzly router. I'm sorry, shaper. So keep it in mind. If you got any suggestions, send me an email. I don't get at them right away. A lot of times it's 2 or 3 days before I open up some of my emails. But usually before the board meeting, I try to go through them all and, you know, if there's any question. So if nobody else has any questions,
Ron,
yes,
this is Joe Eberly. What, did we ever finish the plane?
all except for one piece that Justin has. He's got it done, but we just haven't gotten together to do it. But yes,
Okay.
the plan
I
is-
just thought about that the other day and I was just curious.
we had even thought of building a second tool. But because of the COVID, that kind of put that.
Okay.
back
Thank
burner.
you.
You're welcome. Any other ones?
A quick question is, you said Jay is not the program manager anymore. Is he
Yes.
doing okay or?
Oh, from what I gather, yeah, he's doing fine. Yeah, he's having a problem getting up and down stairs. I do know that. But health-wise, I think he's getting tired. And he gave us notice probably September of last year. He didn't want to do it anymore. So, I mean,
It does wear on me.
Jay did very well on that. Boy, he get guys, 3, 4, 5 months in advance. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get some other ones coming up there. We do have the February one. We got Wally Trester in March. And I'm hoping to get Mike Prebish and I in April to kind of follow up on the Intarja. And Wally's going to do like an inlay type of thing, which the two of them are somewhat related, but we will see. We don't have anything for May. Don't know what's going to happen in June as far as the roundtable, or July as far as show and tell. If we came together, we're not going to have them. So we're either going to have to try to fill that spot, or I'm going to be up here doing shadow puppets, which is not pretty. So. Anybody else? Then I think we are adjourned, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. See you next
Thank you,
month.
Ron.
Thank you.